There's a direct relationship between the rule of law and investment. And we all know that mobilization and utilization of capital does not occur in a vacuum, but depends on good governance, the quality of institutions, and the rule of law. Chapter 3 of the report examines the role of state capacity in the form of governance, institutions, and the rule of law in making Africa's capital work for Africa's development. The report notes a number of issues in this regard. First, weak governance and institutional deficiencies are limiting fiscal resource mobilization in Africa, and we see this manifest in different forms. Several countries face limited capacity and lack of expertise in designing and managing tax agreements, which encourages base erosion and profit shifting in Africa. This has led to Africa losing an estimated $275 billion annually through profit shifting by multinational corporations. We also see the specter of state capture, where captured elites shape laws and regulations that affords them tax exemptions and access to preferential treatment on accessing public contracts. Second, the governance and institutional structure around the management of natural resources in Africa, a crucial element for supporting Africa's goal of achieving inclusive growth and sustainable development, is limiting. For instance, poorly crafted natural resource contracts between governments and investors lead to overexploitation and losses of natural capital. Third, poorly designed regulations also hinder innovation and discourage investment. And mobilization of financial capital in Africa is also affected by institutional inefficiencies. Fourth, Africa's entrepreneurial spirit, where more than 1 in 5 working-age Africans start a business and 75% of youth planning to start a business in 5 years, are hindered by low access to finance and burdensome regulations that increase the cost of doing business. Fifth, weak governance and institutional deficiencies are hampering human capital development and use in Africa. The current underfunding of education and health systems is caused by corruption and other leakages that are starving crucial resources that can enhance productivity of the two sectors. Building on Africa's success stories, this chapter presents concrete policy recommendations clearly categorized according to the type of capital and relevant actors, spanning national governments, international financial institutions, and regional actors, which include the Africa Union. What are some of the interventions that the report advocates? To improve fiscal resource mobilization, African countries must invest in modernization of tax administration systems through digitization, as well as establishing specialized units that combat profit shifting by multinational corporations. These units should be capacitated and given the mandate to investigate profit shifting through tax evasion. There is need to enact mandatory public disclosure for all natural resource contracts and revenue payments to enhance transparency and accountability. There's need for African countries to harmonize their regulatory requirements to reduce barriers to cross-border investment. And this calls for implementation of the common payment system through the Pan-African Payment and Settlement System that will facilitate payment in native currencies as well as enhance intra-Africa trade. For business capital development, African countries should invest in improving the quality of institutions as well as the rule of law, which are key ingredients to attract investment on the continent. Develop strategic and targeted investment in human capital, focusing on vocational training and governance to build capacity in Africa. African countries should leverage on diaspora skills through structured skill-based migration partnerships to harness the diaspora through diaspora bonds and their experiences to facilitate entrepreneurship on the continent.